Okay, so here we are with the dynamic warm-up. It's called the BHS Dynamic Warm-Up, Barrington High School Dynamic Warm-Up, in the app Train Heroic. And it's for all teams, typically if we're doing any conditioning, even in the weight room if we have the gym space, or even an outside space to warm up in. So we're going to start off with air squats, 12 repetitions. Okay, and I'll just coach George as we go along here. Okay, George, 12 air squats. So feet are shoulder width apart, toes straight ahead, elbows wide, opening the chest up, squatting low. Hopefully hips get lower than your knees. Okay. So George has been doing this stuff for about 4 or 5 years now. This is basic general warm-up. The warm-up is designed, it's about 20, 25, depending on when we're doing it. Different exercises that are designed to really increase mobility and activate the right muscles. Okay, next up we have jumping jacks. We have 20 jumping jacks. So he's going to count every time his hands clap above his head. So he's by himself, so he's not really counting very loud. But hopefully as a group, you will, because you have to learn to communicate on a field or on a court or something like that, typically. Or just kind of break out of your shell if your sport doesn't require that. And I know most sports you want to cheer for each other, so this helps with that as well. But participation is huge, so everyone counting loud. Next up we have seal jacks. Seal jacks are a little bit different. Okay, so he's going to clap every time his hands come together in front like that. It's going to go wide and then together. He's got 20 of those also, and he would be counting, the whole team would be counting. So on these drills, you want to make sure you're pulling your toes towards your shins if you can. That's one of the basics of speed mechanics. Dorsiflexion of the foot or toes coming towards your shin. Not necessarily so important for some sports, but it is for speed when we're working on that. Next up is flings. So this, we're going to activate the posterior shoulder muscles as we bring our arms back, chest muscles as we bring our arms forward. So I really want you to drive the hands backwards and then drive them forward together hard. You're going to crisscross the limbs, the upper body and the lower body, opposite each time you come back. So if your right's in front of your left, it's left in front of the right. The next time, that sort of thing. So we have 20 flings. So every time he crisscrosses, he counts. So it's important that we practice perfectly. We're not just kind of going out and doing a dynamic warm-up, real junky movements, if you want to call it that. We're trying to focus on what we're doing so we do things efficiently and correctly. Okay, the next two, we have a low pogo and a high pogo. They're two different things. They're named the same. The actual movement is, or the mechanics are nearly the same. We're going to dorsiflex the toe, pull it towards the shin as we drive with the shoulders, our arms, up and down. So I want your elbows be bent at 90 degrees and up in the air. So forearms, there you go. You're going to drive your forearms up and down as you hop really fast. Don't get off the ground very far, but you're pulling your toes up in the air. Quick ones. We have 50 fast ones to go. Ready, go. So his core's tight. He's kind of bouncing off his whole foot, pulling his toes up. So he's driving at the shoulders, so his shoulders might fatigue a little bit. I didn't count, but typically I normally say start on start, stop on stop to the group because we aren't necessarily counting. Good. I like to see the forearms go up and down a little bit more versus driving the hands up and down, but that was good. Next up is high pogo. So we have 10 high ones. Everything's the same except we're getting a lot of height, driving the arms at the shoulder, just like you would in a sprinting movement. Okay, set, go. Good. Drive the arms up. There you go. Pull the toes up. That's really good. There you go. Okay, that's good. Let's go skipping. So typically we have about 20 yards as noted in the app. 20 yards. Going down and back is 20 by 2 yards. Should be 2 by 20 yards. I don't know why it's written that way, but somehow it came out that way. So we're starting with front skips. And then we go to bounding. Front skips different than bounding. Front skipping is pushing instead of vertical jump. You're going horizontal. You're seeing how far you can push every time. You're driving the knee up. The toe is dorsiflexed, so the foot is dorsiflexed. As you drive with that knee, the opposite arm drive with a 90-degree bend in the elbow, driving at the shoulder. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do it. 20 yards. Go. May not be 20 in our backyard, but that's okay. Okay, good. Drive the knee a little bit higher. Going back. Go. That knee needs to come up to hip height. There you go. That was better. Good. Now we're going bounding. The difference is he's going to go as high as he can every time. The first one, skipping, goes pretty fast. We're not trying to go fast. We're trying to get really high. We don't have any cheat steps in between either. Okay, George, go ahead. Gets up in the air. Ride it as high as you can. That's better. Pulling the toe up in the front. There you go. Good. Going back. Go. Drive the opposite arm. There you go. Good. Next up, we have side shuffle. So on this one, he's going to face me, and he's going to go side shuffle. We don't cross our feet over, and we move our arms in a sprint mechanics if we can. That varies from position, really, but okay. Side shuffle. Set. Go. Very good. Coming back. Excellent, excellent. Don't cross our feet over because we have to pivot and turn and sprint. We don't want to be tangled up. Next we have side run. So normally a side shuffle in most sports would turn right into a side run and then into a turn and sprint, most likely, if you're pursuing as a defender, pursuing the offensive person. Okay, ready, side run. He's stepping over the front foot. Arms are still moving like a sprint forward towards me. Go. Very good, coming back. Faces this way, so he goes the opposite direction. There we go. Nice. Mechanics are looking good. Okay, next up, we have a backward cycle. It's different than a backward run. It's longer strides, so we don't get as low, or we can stay lower. We don't get our backward momentum. Okay, gonna reach every time. Backward cycle. Arms still move like you're sprinting. Go. Good. There you go. Starting to pick the heel up a little bit. We want to see the heel come up by the butt before you reach. Going back. Go. There you go. Good. Nice. Okay, next one is going to be, we're going to do a back pedal. It's not in the system or in the dynamic warm-up all the time. We're going to add it today. Backward back pedal. So it's real fast. Shoulders and chin are over your knees and toes. Stay low. Arms are chopping really fast, feet are moving really fast, but you stay low and your center of gravity is forward over your toes. Set. Go. Stay low, stay low, stay low. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. Good. Coming back, same thing. A little bit lower even so you can break out of that either direction. Set. Go. Nice job. Oh, almost got him. Need to mow the lawn, huh? Okay, next up, we're going into our wideouts and gate swings. So these are everyone's favorite, right, George? All right, so wideouts, we're going to start with our feet together. We're going to go out and then back in as fast as we can. So we go in on go and stop on stop. I have 20 written down, but we just go for 20 quick ones, okay? So feet are shoulder width apart. Bend your knees just a little bit. Bend your knees a little bit. And we're going to go really fast in and out. Set, go. So this requires a tight core. Got to really engage your central nervous system. Takes some training. So this is just reactionary or, purposely driven, I call it. Speed mechanics. Okay, good. Now we're going gate swing. So this is much slower. We're going to land wide and squat, and then come back together and land close and squat. Hands are on your knees the whole time, pushing the gates open and closing them. Ready? Go. So we're warming up the legs, good landing mechanics. So we're learning to decelerate, which is really important for all sports, deceleration. Again, all these exercises are designed to be a variety that activate all the major muscle groups for most sports to prepare you for what you're about to do in most sports. Okay, next up is a walking lunge. So we're gonna hit those same knee bend, 90 degrees, pull up, dorsiflex the foot, okay, elbow bent 90 degrees, heading that way, walking lunge. Turn and walk, there you go. Good. Drive the knee up in the air before you plant to there. You go. That's our walking lunge. Driving the opposite arm. Looking good. Good. Okay, next up we have side lunge. We'll just do this one going back. So he's going to step out, and we're actually going to pivot all the way around and do it the other side. Okay, step out for a side lunge. Bend the knee. Good. Now spin. There you go. So we could do all of these one side all the way down, then come back all the other side, but I like to do the pivot. Try to straighten that trail leg every time. There we go. Good. So now notice, and do one more that direction, George. Freeze. So notice that the knee's inside the toe. Okay, good. And his shoulders and chest are towards that far leg. There we go. Good. Okay. Next up, we're going stationary. So bridge. So laying on your back. Okay, feet are flat, knees are bent. Why don't you pivot around for me? Bring your feet over there. There you go. Okay, feet are flat, knees are bent. Just gonna lift his hips up off the ground. There you go. Up and down. There's 20 of those. Okay, when we go to single leg next, he's gonna stay there. Bring one foot straight up in the air. Even more. Put your foot flat to the sky, that is. Okay, bend your knee a little bit more. So bring it towards your chest. There you go. Single leg, up and down, go. Okay, and this is 20 each, it says. So we got 20 one leg, 20 the other. Okay, seated arm action, stay right there. Legs are straight. Oh, there we go. Okay.